this video isn't going to be very long. I did an hour-and-a-half stream yesterday. If you haven't seen it, check the link down below in the description and go and watch that. But I kind of just want to talk about a few of the promotional pictures that we got yesterday. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you're subscribed. And then also, slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 4-2 plus 0. Long night. Alright, so one of the only reasons why I'm mentioning this image is because there were 11 of them. It's kind of the same thing. It's the dragon eggs. I'm obviously talking about the dragon eggs. They look awesome. They look amazing. And obviously the dragon in the background, the eyes that we see, and then part of a face that's the exact same, just rendered different colors, right? But the eggs in front, they all have like different variations of being opened. And of course they open, dragons are fire incarnate. They look amazing, right? But as far as trying to think that each one is a different type of dragon, maybe. There's like 10 or 11 of them. But like I said, they look awesome. It just shows you how desperate we've been since, we're kind of trying to crack which one of, literally, which egg is which, right? Now, the first actual promo photo, like of a character from the show that I want to talk about, is Mysaria. She, in my opinion, looks the most interesting, right? As far as, like, backstory, they're probably going to have to make up quite a bit for this character, right? Because they are Prince Daemon's paramour for a while, right? And when Daemon is known as the Prince of the City, when he reforms the City Watch, right? Gives them their gold cloaks. That's why they start going by that name. But she is basically his right hand, and they're in love with each other. They have a baby, right? So she gets sent away, and then the baby dies because a storm hits the ship. So one of the most interesting things about her costume is that a person in my chat yesterday during the live stream pointed this out, but there's like these like vein things on her costume. She's wearing like a cowl cloak kind of thing, right? And it looks like veins or also weirwood roots, in my opinion. I'm looking at it right now, and it kind of actually looks like giant weirwood branches. So it looks as though they're going to be connecting Daemon to, or at least Mysaria is going to be associated with northern magic. Maybe, is that possible? Right? So she's known as the Pale Worm. It could very much be that she came over here, right, practicing a different religion, quite possibly R'hllor, and then was converted by something she sees up north. Like I said, this is a character from a book, yes, but it's a history book. So very little is known about the character because the people that are POV, if you even want to say that for the history book, the person whose account is being retold doesn't know this character, Mysaria, the best, right? So it's kind of all hearsay, and the writers, Ryan Kondo, Miguel Sapochnik, everybody associated with the writing team for House of the Dragon, gets to make up a lot for this character, but this costume sort of reveals a bunch. I mean, it's definitely a weirwood tree. Like it could, like I said, be veins in a worm. And if you're unaware, if you haven't read the A Song of Ice and Fire books that much, worms are referenced a shit ton. Like, not only is Prince Daemon called the Red Worm, right? So she's the White Worm, and Prince Daemon's dragon is called the Red Worm. He's associated with his dragon, rather, Caraxes. So several characters have references to worms, right? So one in particular is when Arya first gets to the Faceless Men, right? So when she goes to Braavos and she first shows up there, the kindly man tries to scare her. So he leans in close, and then Arya sees that it's a skull. Holy shit, right? Anybody else would be scared, but then a worm crawls through what should have been an eye socket, and then Arya tries to pick it up and pluck it and eat it, right? So the kindly man's like, holy shit, no one's ever tried to eat my worm before. And then also, at first, Sansa loves Joffrey, right? So this is before he's done really anything to cause her to hate him. She thinks that his lips look juicy and she wants to kiss them. Now, that's not the exact reference, obviously. But later on, after she hates him, I can't remember the exact point, but it's in the first Game of Thrones book. It's probably her 4th or 5th POV chapter in that book. It's one of her last ones. But she mentions how his lips look like worms, right? And there's several characters that are referenced who their lips looks like two worms fucking. I can't remember if it's Sansa that says that Joffrey's lips look like that. But there's several characters, right? So, and then also wyverns and fireworms put together are how you make dragons, right? So there's something associated with her being the white worm. I wonder if the white worm is a reference to the weirwood tree, and maybe instead of having to make stuff up, George R. R. Martin himself has given Ryan Condal inside information that won't be revealed until one of his books come out, or at least confirmed through the fandom that way, which in my opinion, and everybody else's opinion, is the official source. I did actually run kind of long talking about Mysaria, so for Rhaenyra, and if you want my in-depth, on-the-spot analysis of it, you can go check, like I said at the beginning of this video, the link down below in the description, and go and watch the live stream. But this costume that Rhaenyra is wearing, in my opinion, doesn't give away as much about her character as Mysaria, but it does look as though she's going to be, or this is from her coronation, which will be the end of House of the Dragon Season 1. So the show hasn't officially been greenlit for Season 2, but we all know that's coming. I mean, come on. It's very obvious at this point, except for these, especially since these second round of promotional photos come out, and then it'll be confirmed, in my opinion, after the show airs completely and they see how well it does. But like I said, with the Black coronation being the end for the Blacks in House of the Dragon Season 1, I think there's going to be a few different twists. Like, I do think she's still going to be given her crown by Daemon, but I wouldn't expect to see maybe a death. Maybe potentially someone's poisoned, right? So the way that she finds out about her father's death will probably be manipulated as well. One of the things that I think will be still held the same in the history books, and remember, technically they're still sticking with canon because we're given 3 different versions of this story, and a few people their side of the story may not be as credible as another versions. But anyway, one of the things that I do think will be the exact same that George R. R. Martin wrote is that Viserys' death was kept a secret, right? So King Viserys, Rhaenyra's father, Alicent's husband, Aegon II's father, right? His death will for sure be kept a secret. The main reason being is because that gives the Greens the upper hand, the advantage they need to start planning and preparing for the wars to come, right? And then eventually when Rhaenyra finds out, Aegon II's already been crowned, and he's already had an advantage of, for instance, sending Aemon One Eye down to the Stormlands, right, to go treat with Boros Baratheon. But the thing about that is that probably won't happen until Season 2. Alright, and the last image I want to discuss for this video at least is the image of Alicent and Rhaenyra embracing. It's kind of pretty much a dead giveaway. Like, if you really study their faces, you can see that Alicent has, like, a forced emotion, right? She's clearly having to embrace Rhaenyra when she may not want to. And then Rhaenyra has, like, a smugness to her, right? So Alicent looks contempt and Rhaenyra looks smugged. And the main reason being is because they're being forced into that situation. Publicly, it would appear. I've tried to zoom in on their dresses, and it looks like they may be the same ones from the teaser. Not really, right? So Alicent's dress is a little bit, would appear maybe a little darker in the promotional photo, and then Rhaenyra's is a lot more red, right? But Rhaenyra's hair is braided in both of the images. I've tried to put those up for you guys so you can decide for yourself. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. But the main thing to take away from that, like I said, is that it's forced. And the younger actresses, Millie Alcock, who's playing Rhaenyra, and then Emily Carey, who's playing the younger version of Alicent, right? So both of them are playing the younger versions of each character. They may potentially be coming back in the Corlys the Sea Snake series if that does get greenlit, but both of them are doing a pretty good job acting in this photo, so that makes me pretty excited. If you guys enjoy this video, slap a like on it. Like goal is going to be 42. Long night!